Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Princess, if you didn't already know, and you are now in the Princess lifestyle. So I'm back finally with another new video, and this is one that you guys are really gonna love, like really gonna love, because a lot of you guys are so sick and tired of me using expensive products and making me spend your life savings, making you spend your life savings. That's my job, to make you spend all your money on good makeup. So I'm coming to you guys today with a drugstore foundation review that, I mean, as far as records on my channel go, like this is the best drugstore foundation I've ever used, like ever. Even better than Milani that I used to use back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna jump straight into it. This is not about to be a long video, okay? We're getting right to the point. The foundation to be said and to be had is the Loreal Infallible 24-Hour Freshwear Foundation. This is the first L'Oreal foundation that I've tried and liked, that was actually worth doing a review on. I just love it. It's matte, but it's not drying. It is long wearing. It didn't oxidize on me like most drugstore foundations do, and the coverage is amazing. Now, let me pause before I put this on. This foundation is $15. Yeah. From the drugstore, it's $15. Okay, so here's the thing. I have no problem spending money. I have no problem spending my own money. I prefer to spend other people's money, but I have no problem spending mine. But the issue for me is, how dare you? How dare you charge $15 for a drugstore foundation? Who do you think you are? You think this is Sephora? It's not. When I got to the register and it said $14.99, I almost dropped my ginger ale. And I said to myself, this foundation better change my life, because for $15, I better come out looking like Beyonce. And let me tell you something, I did. I looked like a drugstore version of Beyonce, and I was happy. So let's get into the foundation. So the first thing I'm gonna do is prime my skin. I'm gonna be using my LANCOME La Base Pro primer, and this is a silicone-based primer. It's pretty darn good. All you need is one pump for your whole face. I am going to color correct, and I'm going to be using my Pro Conceal and Correct palette from MAC. I'm just tapping a little bit, you know. And you don't want to put a thick layer of corrector. That's not how corrector works. Thin layer, buildable coverage, and you build as needed. All right, so let's get into it. This is what the foundation looks like. So this is how I applied it when I first tried it. I put it like this and didn't realize that the coverage is so amazing. So 2 pumps will get you right. So as you can see, this is just such a gorgeous foundation. I tell you. So that's half of my face done. I'd say this foundation is a little too red for me. Not a little bit, it's too red for me. I'm not a red undertone. I'm neutral. I'm a neutral undertoned woman, and not surprisingly, I didn't see a neutral undertone in my shade. So this was my best bet. Shade wise, we're good. Undertone wise, if I'm using a super matte foundation, I'm more than likely gonna mix it with a moisturizer to thin it out so that it can lay on the skin the way skin lays on the skin. You feel me? I used 3 pumps of foundation in total to achieve this coverage, and I love it. Now, does this foundation last 24 hours? Does any foundation last 24 hours? Up to 24-hour breathable texture. Of course, because it's a drugstore foundation, it would never perform at the level of a NARS or an Armani or a YSL. It's never going to perform at that level, but it's performing top notch as far as drugstore foundations go. Now, my advice is to use this foundation and then use concealers that are more high end, so that you can ensure that, you know, you look right and that you're out here killing it. So I'm gonna use my Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer in the shade Peanut Butter. I'm gonna squeeze some onto the base part, and then I'm gonna pat and apply. This is a very good full coverage concealer. They blend out like a dream though. I'm gonna be using my Fenty Beauty Matchstick in Espresso. So now that I've blended out my entire face, I'm gonna set everywhere with my CoverGirl Full Spectrum powders. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I have been loving these powders. They're so velvety and buttery, easy to use. They're literally my go-to. They stay on my little vanity. Literally, they stay here so that I can reach for them at all times. They keep me brown, most importantly. Now I'm using my Black Radiance palette, all these powders, and achieving a contour. That's a serious contour. Quick tip for nose contouring. What you want to do is get whatever your contour shade is and start in here. The best nose contours really start in the eye socket area. That's how you get a super slim look if that's what you're going for. And if it's not what you're going for, that's how you get the proper dimensions and shadows going to really enhance the look of your nose on camera, in video, in TV, in film, and all of that stuff. So start right here in the eye socket and really get that shading going. And then you drag the excess downwards. Like so. Then get a good highlight. This is the same highlight in the same palette, Black Radiance. This is really a gorgeous highlight. One of my favorites. One of the most beautiful highlights ever. Okay, so I'm just gonna fill in my brows really quick and then we're done. Okay, so my full face is done. I've had this on for about an hour now. Again, the foundation is Loreal Infallible 24-Hour Freshwear Foundation. I'm using the shade 530. I have no complaints about this foundation so far. I'm gonna go away for a few hours, well, several hours. I'll probably come back around like 10 so I can show you guys what the foundation is looking like several hours later. So hopefully, you know, I'll still be intact. I'll still be looking good. It's not super hot outside, so I don't expect my skin to get very oily very quickly. It says up to 24-hour breathable texture. So I'm expecting to look good around 10 p.m. I'm expecting to look like this, okay? I used a good primer. I used a great concealer. I used really good products. I went from high end to low end throughout this entire tutorial, so I should be looking great by the end of this. So I'll be back. I'm gonna go teach a class or whatever. I'll see you guys around probably like 11 p.m. something like that. Okay, all right. We are back. Yes, we are. We are back. It is now just about to be 12 midnight. So that's about 10 hours. This is 10 hours of wearing this Loreal Infallible Freshwear 24-hour foundation. Again, I am shade 530. And as you can see, honey, this foundation is lit, and this is from the drugstore. This is a drugstore foundation, and this is how I'm looking. I haven't done even one touch-up. I haven't touched my face at all. I actually got on camera because I had to perform a scene a couple of times in front of a director that's going to be casting some things soon. So if I was able to go on camera and trust a drugstore foundation on camera, honey, then you know that this is a foundation that you need in your repertoire of foundations. So I absolutely love this foundation. I don't have any complaints, and I look good. My skin looks really smooth. It's such a good look. Like, it's matte, but it's not drying. That's what I love most about this foundation, because I love a matte look that's not dry, if you know what I mean. So like a satiny type of finish that also combats oil, you know? Freshwear, that's what this foundation is called. It's called Freshwear 24-hour foundation. Like, that is the perfect name for it. I absolutely am living for this foundation. I love the combo that I used with Huda Beauty's concealer and the Fenty Beauty matchstick. The whole look is just, it's sitting. 10 hours later, I still look flawless. I can, you know, get some blotting papers and pick up the oil in my T-zone, but I mean, nothing else is needed because I look good. I absolutely would not have needed to do any blotting had I used a different powder to set. The CoverGirl powders are very lightweight and buttery. They, in my opinion, do not set to combat oil. They set to just set the makeup and give you a flawless, airbrushed type of look. So this is my review for the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour Freshwear foundation. I love it so very much. It's my new favorite drugstore foundation. I love you guys so very much. Thank you for being patient while I had to take a month off to film a movie. If you follow me on Instagram, then you already know what was going on. And if you aren't following me on Instagram, you might wanna, because a lot of things happen there that do not happen here in YouTube world. So I'm back and I'm consistent now because I've wrapped filming. I don't know what my next project is, but I'm sure it's coming soon. So I'm trying to film a lot so I can have a lot of content and be able to get stuff up for you guys even while I'm filming. I think the next video I need to do is like a life update. I've never even done a video where I just sit and talk about me. Like, we know each other, we kiki, but we don't really know each other like that, you know? We don't know each other. Like, y'all don't really know me, and y'all about to know me. I think that needs to be the next video, or at least the next 2 to 3 videos need to be, like, one of them has to be me sitting with you guys and telling my business. You know what I'm saying? Spilling my tea. Okay, we're gonna do it. Anyhow, okay. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.